We're heading to Glasgow and Overtone. This is one of their latest beers. It's an IPA. It is called Krafty Js. But what's it going to be like? Keep watching to find out. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. Today we're going to Overtone, another very good brewery based up in Glasgow in Scotland. This is an IPA and it is a Krafty Js is a new craft beer destination on the island of Jersey. So it's a collaboration with Krafty Js, and it says here, we brewed a refreshing IPA with creamy waves of mango, watermelon, sweet candy floss and vanilla. Interesting. It's got Eldorado Cryo, Eldorado Normal, Well Melon and Lotus. You know, those last two hops are not ones that we see that often. But let's crack it open, get it in a glass, see what it's all about. Overtone make good beers, so I'm sure this is going to be up there with the rest of their very good beers. Just interesting what the Well Melon, I think that's how you pronounce it, and Lotus is. I mean, they don't use that often. So beer in a glass, we've got a sort of quite a deep orange coloured beer, very hazy. We've got just an off-white head, 3 fingers. That may just be because I poured it badly, but very compacted. Looks pretty good, nice and bright and fresh. Let's see what the aroma's like. Yeah, there's lots of sort of orange and sweet orange. And I'm picking a little bit of melon. I mean, Well Melon, I'm sure that's why it's called Well Melon, because it's got that melon sort of aroma. So you've got orange and melon, and you've also got like, what do you call it? It's that sort of, it's like a very sort of flowery sort of aroma as well. Smells pretty good. But, you know, although it doesn't say it, almost say that Amarillo. It's a very Amarillo sort of smelling. Smells fresh. I'm sure it's going to be a nice juicy one. So let's tuck in. Cheers, everyone. A real sharpness. You're getting almost real sort of zesty lime and grapefruit on the front end. There's definitely that sort of sweet orange in there as well, and mango, passion fruit as well. Yeah, it tastes pretty good. It's got that sort of very light, zesty sort of taste to it in terms of flavours. Grapefruit and lime though, quite up front. There's a little bit of earthiness. And then there's a little sort of pockets of sweet orange, that sort of floral, flowery sort of flavour in there as well. Melon, gooseberry, kiwi fruits. You know, it's got very sort of similar sort of profiles really to the New Zealand sort of hops. I don't know much about Well Melon and Lotus in terms of where they're from, what country they're from. It says here sweet candy floss and vanilla. I'm not really picking up that. There's a sort of earthy, dry bitterness though on there. Whether that's just from the sort of quite sharp zest of grapefruit juice that you're getting that sort of flavour, grapefruit juice. It's almost a little coming into a little sweetness though, so it always goes into a lot almost pink grapefruit flavour. Yeah, there are mango flavours in here as well. In terms of the body, it's quite light, but it's very soft. So it's just, you know, it's perfect from what you want from an IPA. It's a good beer. Is it up there with some of the best from Overtone? No, I don't think so. It's just a very good beer. Great soft mouthfeel. The flavours, there's much more that sort of orange and that sort of orange blossom. I think that's the flavour I'm sort of getting. That sort of slightly orangey, but then also slightly sort of flowery as well. And then there's sort of grapefruit and very sort of sharp green sort of limes and that in there. It's not bad at all. It's a little bit different than normal IPAs, but it's still very solid. Let's get some scores. Okay, the scores are in for Krafty Js. This is from Overtone and Friends, 6.5% IPA. We've got Eldorado, both normal and cryo, Huel melon and lotus. Different hops than what you expect. You don't get many of those sort of hops in a lot of the beers. I mean, in terms of the scoring, aroma first. Yeah, there's a little bit of dank earthiness really in the aroma. You're getting a lot of, in terms of fruit, you're getting orange and passion fruit. It's not, you know, it's quite a zesty flavour, but you're not really picking up big zesty fruits. It's a little bit sort of dull and a little bit sort of dank really in its aroma. So I'm giving it 13 for aroma. Appearance wise, well, although we lost the head, you can see there's a nice lace in the glass. It's a lovely orange hazy colour. It's a solid 8 out of 10. Flavour wise, well, you're getting that orange and passion fruit, mango up front. There's a little bit of earthiness in there. Then you're getting a little bit of the sharpness from a grapefruit and lime as well. And there's other sort of, and there's also this sort of very floral, flowery sort of flavour as well, sort of like an orange blossom. It's quite difficult to describe it, but it's just a little bit more flowery than you would expect from an IPA. I don't know whether that's coming from the lotus or what that is. And then it's sort of, and it's quite a soft body, sort of medium to light in terms of its body. It certainly tastes pretty good, but it's nothing, there's nothing remarkable about it. It doesn't have real sort of lip smacking, sort of real upfront juice. It's a little dull in terms of the juice. I don't know if it's just because it's got the more orange passion fruit and it has this earthy, flowery taste as well to it. And that sort of dials it back in terms of flavour. So I'm giving it 33 for flavour. It's still a solid flavour, still good. The mouth feels good, but it just doesn't do anything different, doesn't sort of elevate it to another level really. So 33 for flavour. Value for money, well, I'd say a lot of these beers I bought this month were just under the £5, and this was, I think, yeah, something like that, £4.95, £4.75. Not bad, but it's not an incredible beer, so I'm giving it 7 for value. And my overall experience, well, it's a very pleasant, good beer. I don't know, you know, all these reviews that I've done, I'm getting to the point where I want to be amazed by a beer. It's a little bit, you know, although it's a completely different flavour beer, it reminds me a little bit of the last Polly's one that I had, which was really good, but because the expectation of Polly's is that much greater, it wasn't as good. And this is the same. Overtone makes so many good beers. I mean, I've had so many really good beers from them. They're in my top 10 breweries. You know, they make lots of different types of beers, but usually they're all very, very solid. This is still solid, but, you know, it's not up there with the likes of the Betty and the Bruce, for example. You know, there's a lot of other ones that I can't remember. The sour that we had was very, very good from them. It just doesn't, I don't know whether it's the hops, but it doesn't take it anywhere more than I want from a normal IPA. It just tastes like a very good IPA. Yes, it's better than most of the IPAs. Most IPAs, I won't say all IPAs in the supermarkets, but it's, you know, it's almost closer to some of the very good ones in the supermarkets, like Northern Monk, like the Salt Alpaca. It's that sort of level, really. So I'm giving it 13 for overall experience. Tighten the scores up, 74. I mean, still recommended beer. I mean, Overtone aren't going to really, I can't see them really dropping the ball. 74 is a good score generally, but I mean, obviously for Overtone, I expect a little bit better. So I don't know if it's just maybe I just haven't sort of got to, you know, I haven't sort of, hasn't these different hops that we're not used to haven't really sort of turned me on that much. So it may be that, but it's still a good beer. And if you want to try something different, then give it a go. But again, if you see Overtone, you know, whether it's a sour, a pale ale, a double IPA, an IPA, triple IPAs even, give them a go. They're very good. If you can recommend an Overtone beer that you've had recently, let me know in the comments, because yeah, I always usually get 1 or 2 Overtones, and I have got another Overtone as well this month, so maybe that one will be a bit better. 74 out of 100. Hope you've enjoyed this video. It's a lovely sunny day. It's a perfect day to have a nice beer, basically. And this one is still pretty damn good. So until the next one, keep on rocking.